You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriot. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me on the Highly Evolved Podcast. We're back to our old format. If you were wondering, I was doing a lot of car videos, but right now we're back to the way we are. All right. On this episode, we're gonna discuss. All right, we're gonna discuss what's going on in international news. Right, and this is regarding to China and Hong Kong. All right, the headline reads: Hong Kong braced for protests as government shutdown. Basically, what they try to do is China is about to break the treaty with British, because Hong Kong was relinquished to China back in 1997. Right now, within this treaty, it said that they're not supposed to have any stranglehold within 50 years of the relinquish from the Britain. Right, and China's gonna backtrack on the word, and what they try to do right now, they try to take control of Hong Kong. Right. Try to take away the sovereignties, try to take away the government, right? But let me show you this article, and we're going to react to this together, right? Let's look at this article. And if you want, China's been an awful awful country, right? And you already know my stances about China and how it doesn't benefit the world stage at all. All right, that's why I believe China is one of those evil entity out there. That's one of those cabal. All right, and here you go, the article. It's from CNBC. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's in Hong Kong burst for protests as government shut down office. All right. Government office in the financial district were closed for the rest of the week due to the protests. Police and demonstrator clashes for hours on Wednesday as citizen protests against Chief Executive Carrie Lam proposed a legal amendment that would allow people in Hong Kong to be extradited to China, meaning that relinquished power, meaning that people in Hong Kong could face Chinese crime, right? Not Chinese crime, face Chinese convictions, right? Hong Kong hospital authorities said 72 people were hospitalized by 10 p.m. HKSNI Time on Wednesday wrote a report, right? Hong Kong braced for possibility more anti-government protests on Thursday after a scene of violence and chaos shook the normally peaceful global trade and financial center day earlier, right? Riot police were visible on the street near the local legislature, the epicenter of Wednesday turmoil, but their presence was lighter as rain poured down the territory. The skies began to clear later. There were fewer signs of protesters in this area. Government offices in the financial district were closed from the rest of the week due to the protests. The main subway station service in the area remained shut. Police demonstrated class for hours on Wednesday as a citizen protest against Chief Executive Carrie Lam, right? She is basically a puppet for Xi Jinping. That's what she is, a puppet. And people are wanting her to resign right now. People are asking her to resign, step down, right? Even using a meme of Trump telling that she's fired. Proposed legislative amendment that would allow people of Hong Kong to be extradited to mainland China. Violence broke out outside the local legislature as was surrounded by demonstrators for much of the day. Police wielded batons and riot shields, firing tear gases and rubber bullets at the crowd. The protesters used open umbrellas to defend, with some throwing objects at the police. There you go. The Hong Kong hospital authorities said 72 people were hospitalized by 7 p.m. Hong Kong time. On Wednesday, wrote a report. Lam, who was refused to withdraw or delay the extradition plan, which she's a puppet of Xi Jinping, held her ground and condemned the protester intolerable in the evening video address. Clearly, this is no longer a peaceful assembly but a blatant organized riot, and in no way an act of loving the Hong Kong, she said, right? But she's corrupt. Hong Kong citizens who enjoy British-based legal system, independent from the rest of China, feared the plan could threaten those judicial protection and their broader autonomy as well. The territory of 7.4 million people, right, formerly part of the British Empire, has been specifically administrated region of China since July 1997. Look, the population of Hong Kong is estimated between 7.4 million, and about 1 million was at the protest, right? 1 million or even higher was at the protest. That's basically what? 1%? No, 10%, I think, or something percent. Do the math, right? That's a lot of people of the population. That's a lot of people, right? It has its own government, currency, police force, civil service under unique one country, two system framework. Right? China handle foreign affairs and defense, and the people of the Liberation Army maintain a small garrison but keep a low profile. Lawmakers at the assembly, known as the Legislative Council, were due to debate the proposal Wednesday, but officials were forced to postpone the session due to protests, and it remained unclear when it would be convened. Hong Kong Hang Seng Index closed at 1.7%, lower on Wednesday after slumping as much as 2% the afternoon session amidst of street clashes. The violence appeared to shook Hong Kong. Local newspaper carried photos of the clashes in front of the page. Tyrant opened fire on us. The liberal Apple Daily wrote in Chinese on its front page. Over the people of riot police scrawling off with demonstration. I'm hurt. I'm sad. Local government workers who requested anonymity told CNBC on Thursday morning. It's dangerous. He said the violence rocked a city the day before. And that's the end of the article. All right. This is crazy. How come the news aren't reporting on it? How come this is on mainstream? I mean, it's on mainstream news, but they're not really report on this, right? You know why Hollywood? It stemmed back to Hollywood mainstream media, all right? The liberal media are not reporting on this as heavy as shit, right? And look, when you look at all the history and all the past, right? Look what's going on. Tech company are silent about this. Mainstream media are silent about this. You never seen any movies projecting China in a bad way. You never seen any TV show projecting China in a bad way. You never seen any article projecting China in a bad way. You never seen all these liberal publication doing an expose on how China is bad early these days, right? Because you know why? They have a lot of asset in China right now. All right, these liberal media, liberal propaganda, Hollywood are basically are in the transition of giving away to the Chinese people, the Chinese government, not the Chinese people. All right, they're all embedded. These people are evil. These people right here, the Chinese people. I'm not Chinese people, the Chinese government, right? And now they want Hong Kong. And Hong Kong have the right to defend itself as well. Right? They know how evil the Chinese government is, and apparently they don't understand that, right? Their prime minister, whatever they are, the leader, Carrie Lam, she's basically a puppet for Xi Jinping. And it's to me, in my opinion, it really looked bleak. Because I don't see any, because I said once and I said before, protest doesn't solve anything. Protest does not solve anything at all. All right? And it's going to be like, look, all these stuff been going around. Look, France is going with the yellow vest. All right? Venezuela is doing with their protests. And now Hong Kong. It's a worldwide event, right? It's a worldwide event right now. People are fed up. People are fed up with their government. They want changes. They want different things right now. All right? This is the beginning, guys. You need to have God with you. You got to have faith in you. All right? And just I pray nothing but the best for these people. I hope nothing else goes wrong. Nobody get injured. All right. Hope the Chinese government don't do anything drastic like Tiananmen Square, which they celebrate their 20 or 30 years since it happened. And it's just sad that this thing had to happen. And it's sad that the corrupt Chinese government had to break the agreement from the British that they're not supposed to do anything to ruin Hong Kong sovereignties within 50 years, right? 1997, that's not even 50 years. That's probably like 20 years, if I'm mistaken, around that time. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right? And the government are corrupt in Hong Kong. And you're not hearing the media talking about this. All right? You never once hear any shows, recent time, modern time, right, that bash how living conditions are bad in China. All right? You never hear any Hollywood are bashing China about their living conditions. Never made a movie that bashed on China. All right? You never hear any news report from the mainstream media, CNBC, ABC, CBS, that's bashing China on their living condition, right? And on that note, right, I want to bring up this thing, right? The most recent one they have about China is the Karate Kid. Have you guys noticed in the movie Karate Kid? Right? Karate Kid. They say it's Karate Kid. Bet he's going to China. And karate's Japanese. And he's doing Kung Fu. How is it still called Karate Kid when you're doing Kung Fu in China? Have anybody ever wondered that? That movie Karate Kid? Right? That movie, Karate Kid, was a propaganda movie. Try to shed China in a different light. That's what it is. It's a propaganda movie. All right? Have you ever noticed when you go to a movie theater, on most of the movies right now, there's like a Chinese insignia before the movie starts. Or at the end of the credit, there's like a Chinese company. You guys know about that? Because Chinese are buying the studio in Hollywood like crazy. All right? You know why there's a lot of vacant houses? For instance, San Francisco have the most vacant houses out there, and there's homeless people. There's a lot of homeless people, but most of the houses are vacant. Who's the main owner of those vacant houses? Chinese people. Right? They buy these houses from they live in China. They buy these houses in San Francisco and they leave it vacant. So Chinese citizens could buy American land and we can't buy Chinese land, or it just goes both ways. All right? This is why there's a lot of homeless people. There's a thing going on right now, allegedly, that the Chinese are buying houses and just leave it vacant, so the American people will just be homeless. Right? So if you do an expose right now, go find out. A documentary that I seen, I forgot the title, but it was this woman doing an investigation of all these vacant houses, right? All these vacant houses that's not tamed, is not maintained at all. And she found out that most of these vacant houses are owned by Chinese tourists or Chinese citizens. While we here in America having our American patriot living off the street, right? That's the reason why there's so much homeless people as well. Because they be buying up all the real estate. The Chinese are buying up all American real estate right now. But I digress. I really hope nothing but the best. I hope nothing else goes wrong. Nobody gets shot. Nobody get killed. But at the rate it's going right now, it seems very bleak in Hong Kong right now. It seems very, very bleak. But I digress, right? I digress. But of the things I'm saying, of the things that are important, YouTube don't want me to report on this, all right? Because of that, they're not monetizing my channel, all right? Because they're not monetizing my channel, I can say whatever I want without being bounded by any outside interference, all right? I mean, I can say without anything I want, all right? Because I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. Because of that, I'm doing this all for free, all right? All for free, because it's not the money I'm doing this for. I'm doing it to get people to think and get people to talk and questions about what's going on in the world right now. All right. If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe. Follow me on BitChute. Subscribe me on BitChute. Follow me on Twitter. Gap.com, Minds.com. And most importantly, subscribe me on YouTube because I'm not going anywhere soon. All right, I'm writing this thing until the wheels fall off. Right. When you subscribe, it shows me that you're watching and encourages me to make more videos. When you encourage me to make more videos, it encourages me to saturate YouTube with more of my videos. When I saturate YouTube with more of my videos, it will reach to more people, and it help me achieve my goal to wake a lot of people up. All right, if you like what I do, want to help me share or spread the news, like, share, and subscribe. And on that note, guys, this is the Highly Evolved Podcast. I know your time is precious, and I try not to waste any of your time. And on that note, guys, and I'm signing out. Peace.